in a long line of great drummers on the show. Okay, we've had guys like Roger Earl and Brian Tishy, Blotzer, Vinny Appice, Kenny Arloff, Tom Motz. And to add to that tonight, we have the drummer for one of my favorite bands now. I love Human Error. It's completely turned me into a Trickster fan, and we are so excited to have on the show the drummer from the band, Mr. Mark. So, Mark, welcome to Hard Rocket Sports.
Tommy, I got to ask you a question before we even get started. Are you saying before Human Error came out, you used to trash me, and you said that bastard? I'm going to have him on my damn show, and one record turned it all around for you. Is that what you're saying to me?
I'm going to tell you that I always knew Trickster. I knew a couple of the good songs, but I wouldn't say I wasn't all in. I didn't buy all in. I bought all in.
I like hearing this. I want to hear more about this. And you know what? And a lot of people aren't very forthright about it. I appreciate the feedback. I really do.
I have to tell you, growing up, I'm 50. I grew up in the 80s with all the metal explosion, and I loved all the bands. And you guys came on the scene right toward the end, and the disgusting grunge era happened, and we just never got completely into Trickster. I heard Human Error. I saw Stevie perform at Eddie Trunk's 30th anniversary party. He was part of that whole thing, and I was sold. I was lock, stock, and barrel. Human Error is one of my favorite albums. I
appreciate that.
It is. Again, I'll get into it. I don't mean to kiss your ass because you get that all the time.
No, I did. Please, you kicked half of it the first half of the conversation, so keep going.
Yeah, it's amazing. Listen, you watch a band, and I love the early stuff now, but when I hear that album, it's like the '80s grew up, and it's the thing. I think if this was out in like '88, it would have been the summer song, like "Rocket to the Edge of the Night," and it would just been the summer song. So great job by you guys.
I'm glad you liked it. Thank you. And happy birthday, by the way, my friend.
Thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. My partner who's on the line with us is Jeff Tawinski. I've been doing all the stuff. Jeff's out there.
Jeff, sir, how are you? Amen. There we go.
Yeah, so we're all on the air together. But I got to ask. So we'll get into what you're here to promote and all of that. But give me some stuff on Trickster. And, it seems like now it's not a full-time gig with you guys, but you guys have so much fun when I watch you guys on video. And it looks like you're still having fun putting out stuff.
I got to tell you, man, we've been very, very fortunate. The idea that we got to do this so many years ago on the level that we did, it's a gift from God. The idea that we get the chance to do it again so many years later, we just put it back together. It's been about just shy of 10 years now. And the fact that we get to revisit our youth, do this all over again, and that there's a market of people that still want to hear the songs, that still come to the shows. And in big numbers, we're doing things like the M3 Rock Festival in Maryland, or we're doing something like the Three Rivers Festival out by Montana. Crazy stuff, big crowds. It's unbelievable, the fact that the scene is so strong, and there's a whole new generation of people coming to the shows, people that are our age coming to the shows, bringing their kids, for crying out loud. So, I mean, what used to be a crowd of 5,000, now 10,000 people. It's it's pretty wild, and I got to tell you, it's a second gift from God. How fortunate we are, how much we love to play and do it, and that the people are still into it.
Yeah, the thing for me, and I support the music, I love it, but you watch that whole time during like the 90s through the early 2000s, and it kind of started to slip away. And you're right, people were playing in 2,000-seater bars and. But now it's come back, and it's gained a lot of strength, and I think the nostalgia for guys who are my age, a little younger, a little older, and it's just great to see. But not only is it still alive, but guys like yourself, your band, are still putting out great stuff, and it's just getting the message out to people that it's there.
I appreciate it. That's the weirdest thing. I remember we more recently did 2 records on Frontiers EMI, New Audio Machine, and the one you mentioned, Human Era. And I got to tell you something. It's a weird thing so many years later, the idea of putting out an original record. God knows, and I hate to say it, God knows how many of my heroes put out a newer record, and you're like, oh, this is not what I remember. I really don't like the material. But I was so concerned that we were going to fall into that sort of thing. But, man, like you said, there's a certain bunch of people that are putting out records these days, and they sound freaking fantastic. And God bless America, we were very fortunate. We've got a couple of ones that we're very, very proud.
Yeah, I guess I'll pick out a couple. I mean, you guys, what's his name? Michael Sweet and Striper. Michael Sweet's solo album was absolutely amazing. One of the best metal albums I've heard in a long time. And Striper's last couple have been just fantastic. So, there's so much good stuff out there. Just people, I don't know, maybe gets lost with all the people putting out music now because of Pro Tools. But, it's a shame that if you don't. But I'm glad you guys are doing well, and you're doing well, and that you got so much on your plate. I mean, I don't know how you have time for even Trickster at this point.
It's kind of weird. Things have been a little funny lately. More recently, everyone's got a lot of ancillary projects they're involved with. Steve and PJ were playing with the singer from Mr. Big, Eric Martin, and they were touring all over the place. Pete has a couple of projects on the side that he does around the Arizona area. I was sitting by myself. I said, well, what the hell am I going to do? And the craziest thing, I started getting into classical music and doing scoring for video games and movies and stuff like that. So, I mean, there's always something to do. I do a lot of charity work also. I have an alliance with an organization, Hope for Kids International, and they do wonderful things for kids all over the world, clean water, education, support, like amazing, amazing stuff. So, I mean, just devotion of time, you're right. The idea of putting more Trickster stuff together, we got to get back on the ball. So, I take your advice.
Yeah, and I want to get to your stuff right after this, but it's the one negative I do have about this era of music is that there's almost too much. Like 1 minute you look up and not to knock at it, but there's all these different super groups, let's call it. Also, I look up and Mike Portnoy and Billy Sheehan and Bumblefoot and a host of other guys are in a band, and then 2 weeks from now, two of those guys are with somebody else. That's the one thing that kind of, and I know why people are doing it, I understand it, but it's hard to get behind some of these newer super groups. I love Chickenfoot. That's a band that stuck it out, but a lot of these bands are in and out, and I think it kind of floods and muddies the waters when bands like yourself or Striper are putting out stuff. It kind of gets lost in the sea of who's out there putting stuff out.
You are bringing up a very interesting point, and this sort of thing that you're describing never happened 20 years ago. Never.
No.
Why?
No.
You know what? You know why? Here's what the story is. By the time people, number one, we're getting older. All right, everybody wants to do more things than what they've been doing for the past 20-something years. So I appreciate that. That's fine. The thing that on the receiving end, on the line of the listener, they're so flooded with stuff these days. If you put together a project, you could put a video out, get it out on YouTube, and rock and roll with downloads like with a snap of your fingers. You don't have to wait for a record company to slot for a time. You got to build up and all that baloney. You put it together and it's out inside of 2 weeks, or less if you're really that hot on it. So the idea of the machine is like constantly working, and you're not waiting on a company. You could do it yourself in your bedroom, for crying out loud. You could record in the living room, press it in the toilet, and then frickin' put it out in your bedroom on your laptop, and bam, the whole world knows about it. So like the whole system, everybody has access to the world. This clouding of the water, the muddying of the waters, as you say, dead on accurate. And I agree with your synopsis of it also. It does muddy the water. And the bands that have a grassroots thing get a bunch of junk. Not saying that it's junk, but there's more holes in the marketplace to put your attention. And it does muddy the water. Yeah, it's really weird. Again, a problem we never had 20-something years ago.
Yes, I happen to enjoy. Michael Sweet did a thing with George Lynch, Sweet and Lynch, Tishy, James Lomenzo. It was a really good album. They never toured off it. So how do you get behind that band when they put out something and disappear? That's the problem I have with them. I'm not saying they shouldn't do it, have them do it. 30 years ago, the biggest news in the world was David Lee Roth left Van Halen and Sammy Hagar was joining. That was the biggest news in the world. That wouldn't even be a drop in the bucket today because there's so many people moving back and forth. That's the problem.
You are echoing something that I have a sentiment on also. I think you're dead on the money with something there. That there is something to be said for a grassroots thing. When you followed a band for X amount of time and they built up something, you couldn't wait for them to come to your town. And when those lights went down and you finally fucking made it to your town and everyone's there, wait the anticipation, man, that's what I'm talking about. It is an essence of rock and roll that certainly is somewhat hidden, somewhat clouded in the muddy waters, so to speak. I won't disagree with you one iota.
Yeah, I mean, listen, Jeff and I, we grew up in Staten Island. I live in Jersey now. You're a Jersey guy. I know you're out in Arizona now, but back in the day, you couldn't wait.
I'll always be a Jersey guy, yeah.
You couldn't wait for your band to show up at the Garden or at the Brendan Byrne or wherever. Nowadays it's like, who's showing up, which members, who's in the band, what band is this? So that's my only problem with it. I love the new music. I keep making it. I just think that it's hard for people to get behind some of these projects because they just don't put the effort in. You don't go out and tour for a year anymore. They don't put the publicity behind it. So I applaud Trickster for keep doing what you're doing, and hopefully more bands will do that.
I appreciate it, bro. Thank you. But I got to tell you, I share your sentiment, and that's really, you think about it now, that's an area of opportunity. The whole ideology of how the business works these days is so much different than the way it used to be. You used to build a following. We started at the college radio stations, then went to Z-Rock, and then went to the P2s, and then the commercial hit radio stations, you know what I mean? So, it was a building process, and the fans followed you through that process.
Right.
Now, let's see how many downloads we can get. Okay, the downloads stopped happening. We got to make another video, let's put some more mud in the ocean. You know what I mean? So I know exactly what you're saying, and you know what? To actually keep that core audience, to keep that your brand alive for what you're doing, your mission in life, it does get muddied, and I think it's a hard thing to poke your head through and say, hey, we're still here.
Well, it's the truth, and I think that's the thing. And people don't, they get so tired of searching for it that you almost have to land in their lap for them to pay attention to it. And that's a shame of it, because albums like yours, the Trickster fans are eating it up. I fell into it. I kind of happened to catch it. And I loved it, and you're out there promoting it, but you need more people to do that. And like I said, some people just get tired of trying to find it, inside that muddy water. But I do want to talk about what you got going on, and the first one was Ave Maria for me, and I loved the video. I loved what you did. Tell everybody why that was important, why you did that.
Well, yeah, for those that don't know, I played trumpet long before I even started playing drums. Funny thing. And then I guess as I got older, I sold my trumpet for cymbal money. The calling of rock and roll, was certainly a primary in my life. But as time went on, I got involved with movies and soundtrack work and stuff like that. So the trumpet played an integral part in orchestration, as far as working with an orchestra and doing composition, using my piano, stuff like that. Particularly in the studio these days, you can play any instrument on the piano. I need to play kazoo, I break out the piano and I start playing, and then I got a kazoo. So to make an orchestra, so to speak, I had the knowledge and education from the past, and get to utilize it now. I never thought I really would, but it's been so valuable. So I came to we were in Pete. I was at Pete's house. Pete Lawrence, singer from Trickster. He's in the Phoenix area, so we hang out a lot. And he's got a studio in his house, and we were doing a lot of this, work for a video game at his house. And we were coming up with special effects sounds, boom, bang, stuff like that. And after a day of doing that, you're like, Jesus Christ, I just did 50 sounds. I'm kind of losing my ideas here. So he says, hey, why don't you go get that trumpet from the back of your car and bring it in here? I'm going to put up a couple of mics. Let's see what we get out of it. And I said, okay. No big deal. I really didn't think much about it. It started blowing for about 15 minutes. And he rolls tape. We sit down. We listen back in the control room. He's like, dude, that sounds pretty good. I'm like, holy cow, it does sound pretty good, And it got me thinking. I said, what can I do with that? And, I always thought about Kenny G. I met him 25 years ago. He was such a nice guy, and he is, in fact, the best-selling instrumental artist of all time. And, dude, when you see this guy play, I don't care if you're into light music, heavy music, or this man owns that instrument, and he can rock a room, man. I mean, wow. Talk emotions, high, low. It's really amazing, very inspiring. And keeping of him in mind, and this trumpet thing, I said, I'd love to do something like that. I can't sing so well, so what piece of music would work for that kind of thing? So I wanted to do a test. And the song Ave Maria, I had known it, I guess, for since I went to University of Hartford, Hart School of Music when I was a sophomore in high school. So I had some good classical culture behind me, and I knew the song, but it didn't reach out to me until I saw this episode of The West Wing. It was a TV miniseries, West Wing, very famous, Martin Sheen and stuff like that. And they did one episode where Ave Maria was featured in the episode. And let me tell you, these guys know how to put together a show, man. When they put that music on, it grabs you by the heart. You're like, whoa. You know what I mean? And it spoke to me. It was so angelic. It was franchise, The Hitman. You ever see that? The movies, The Hitman, The Hitman 47?
Sure. Absolutely, sure.
Very violent movie, very violent, guys killing each other. It was freaking awesome. And they did this one promo where they used the song Ave Maria, and they put slow motion segments of guys getting freaking killed, blown away by guns and stuff. So the juxtaposition of using that song with the mass murder, it was amazing. I said, oh, my God. And they had this angelic voice on there, like a little kid. Like, oh, my God. I said, what if I used the trumpet instead? I had this feeling inside. I said, I want to do this. I just really don't know if it's going to come out. So I said, Pete, let's put together a backing track. I got some piano stuff here. Let's get some cooking. He looks at me a little funny. He goes, okay, we'll give it a try. So we put it together. I played trumpet. I played the first half of the song. I said, stop, let's listen back. We went to the control room. 10 minutes, we fuss around with the dials, get a little mix, and we look at each other like, you know what? That sounds pretty damn good. So I said, let's do the second half of the song. So, you know, the main idea was the song sparked this feeling inside. And I say this a lot now, like being an artist, it's a selfish kind of thing. You don't do it for anybody else but yourself. This feeling inside, you want to get that feeling out. You want to get it down and say, that's what I'm talking about. So you can point to someone and say, you hear that? That's what I have inside of me. That's what I want to share, you know? So to get it down just the right way, I wasn't sure that was going to come out. And Ave Maria was the first thing I ever did where I had a voice. And I can't say how happy I am with the way it came out. I'm so proud. I really love it. It really touches me.
And, of course, we're talking with Mark Scott from Trickster and a solo musician, artist. Great stuff. But tell everybody, why did that resonate? I know were you living in New York during 9/11? Like, I know there's a little something.
I was, yeah. I lived in Orange County, New York for about 15 years or so. I had a house in Warwick. And, man, I'll tell you what, I was a director of marketing at an indoor amusement park in Paramus, New Jersey. So commuting, I had to come over Route 17. You could see the skyline of New York right from the highway. You know, I was only about, 11 miles away when I saw the first tower was struck. I remember listening to WINS going to work, and it said, a plane has hit the tower to the World Trade, whatever it was. And I go, what, are you kidding me? I can't believe it. And I said to myself, I know exactly what happened. Somebody took off out a little small plane out of Teterboro, and there was some fog, and they hit the building. I'm like, what a moron. I can't even believe it. And I get up on 17, up by Steak and Ale used to be, and I look, and I see the skyline. I see the one tower with a bunch of smoke over. I'm like, look at that jerk. Look what he did. I can't even believe it. I said, wait a minute. If I can see the Trade Center from here, how the hell did he not see the building? So that was my question. Then I go down, the Trade Center goes out of sight, and on WINS radio, another plane has hit the building. I'm like, holy crap. I look up in the sky, and I see all of this goddamn smoking black crap. I was like, oh, my God. And then it hit everybody. Holy crap, we're under attack. You know, and I hear on the radio. I finally get over to where I was working in Paramus, New Jersey. Turn on the tube. I look outside. I look back at the TV. I look outside. I'm like, oh my God, like it's real. You know what I mean? Something's going down. I can't believe it. And it was like the weirdest damn thing, but yeah, so surreal. And the crazy part was, I don't know. I'm sure you remember back and forth between WINS, the TV, and Howard Stern. And man, the whole vibe. More and more stuff was going on. Then the Pentagon got hit, and then people said there's a bomb at the State Department. The Georgetown Mall is on fire. They found a device over at the George Washington Bridge. There was so much crap going on, and we were next to it. They said they're coming to Jersey next. I was on that. So when the vibe of more was yet to come was still perpetuating the air, I got the hell out of there. Everybody started running. And they wanted to get home to their families and get their guns. I mean, I was rocking. The police were just out in the center islands of the highway trying to maintain order and people not going crazy. But people are driving fast, right past the cops like we're nothing. Like that, you know. So man, it was a weird thing until people didn't calm down until even late that night. They had video cameras going on the GW Bridge, the Empire State Building. They said, these areas are now being scoured for a device. Something was found. False reports of crap came in. Dude, it was freaking maniacal, you know? And, oh, my God. So, living that close to it certainly was a different effect than if you're in Oklahoma watching on TV. Absolutely.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And again, you did such a great job. It is a beautiful piece, and it's a great tribute to everybody. And I loved it, and I hope everybody gets a chance to check it out. And I also want to talk about Christmas Miracle, your release coming out this right before Thanksgiving. Give everybody a little something on Christmas Miracle.
Yeah, well, I tell you, Ave Maria was the first single from the album Christmas Miracle. That'll be coming out Thanksgiving. It's a collection of Christmas music, and to be honest with you, when I did Ave Maria, I really was so happy with the way it came out. All I had was just that song. I said, well, now what the hell am I going to do? So I said, by the time I put anything together, it'll be Christmas time. And then I said, So, I really didn't know what material to do. Ave Maria came to me, and I really didn't know where to go from there. I really didn't. I didn't have this grand master plan. So, it was really more of a timing thing. I said, I want to do this, and freaking let's get it the frick out, So one thing's for sure, when it comes to Christmas time, the music is freaking beautiful. I mean, it's all right there. I put a couple of original compositions on the record, but realistically, it's surrounded itself by actual Christmas songs. Silent Night, Oh Holy Night, Little Drummer Boy. I did this version of Little Drummer Boy. It's like Trans-Siberian oriented. It's really rocking. I got a heavy house beat and some metal guitars on it. So it's pretty cool in that regard, That's partially the heaviest song on the record, but the majority of it's more ballad-oriented. I've got one song, A Symphony for Christmas Eve, that's a full orchestral arrangement. Oh Holy Night, it's all no drums. There's timpani, but there's no drum set or anything like that. It's real ballad-oriented Christmas stuff. Same thing with Silent Night. And I think one thing that I tried to do, that I really tried to capitalize on, is create angelic harmonies with the horns, trying to make something that if you were, approaching the gates of heaven, that it would have this, kind of thing. Yeah. And I really did a lot of that with the horns, a lot of harmony stuff, trying to make that, because honestly, I love listening to a gospel choir or something that really, the guys that have voices like that, and I don't think I really have a voice like that. But with the horns, you better watch your ass. I swear, I can't say how much I love doing it. And Pete helped me so much electronically, trying to make it all come out right in the studio. And you can even go to my website and you listen to a couple of songs for free, and you can hear some of this stuff. Just the orchestration, the way it came out. I can't tell you how happy it makes me just to listen back to say, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I had in my head. I wanted to just get it down the right way. That's the real primary goal. The secondary is I hope people like it. Yeah. But I did it, again, it's somewhat selfish. I did it for me because I wanted to see you do it, you know what I mean? And to make it just come out the right way. And I can't tell you really, if I wasn't happy with it, I wouldn't be talking to you about it right now. I'd be talking about, the chicks in the back of the bus or something. But so, all kidding aside, man, I can't tell you how happy I am with the way it came out. I really love it.
No, I'm looking forward to it. I love Christmas. I love Christmas music. I drive my wife crazy with it because she hates it, but I love Christmas music, and I love anything with a little metal in it, a little something on the edge. So I'm looking forward to hearing it. I haven't had a chance to hear anything but Ave Maria so far, so I am looking forward to it. How can people find it? Where can people get more information?
Well, one thing I'll tell you right off the bat, I will not tell you to go and buy it. I'm not one of those guys. I'm going to tell you to go listen to it for free. I got it on my website. I got a couple of full songs on my website. You can go listen to it, markgusscott.com. Go right to the music section. You can listen to some stuff. I want people to dig it. You know what I mean? That's first and foremost. If you want to fight it, then God bless America. I'm not going to stop you. But, dude, I'm telling you, I want people to listen to it. And if you want some really good stuff to listen to, particularly around Christmas time, I think I got something for you. That's really all I got. I want people to dig what it's all about. I'm not going to try to convert somebody if they're not into that style of music. If you do, then that's awesome. But this is different. It's not. I'm not trying to preach something that it's not. This is great holiday music. It's classically oriented stuff. Little Drummer Boy does kick a little ass, I will admit. It's pretty badass. But but realistically, it's some classical Christmas music, man, and I can't tell you just how much it feeds my soul to actually put it out. It's like, wow, there's some cool angelic crap on there, man. It's like, wow, I'm really digging that.
I'm looking forward to it, as I am more from you. Anything new from Trickster? You guys talking about anything? Is there anything in the
You know, if I say one thing now, 2 weeks from now it'll be totally freaking different. So I can't say. Right? Everybody's still doing these sideline project stuff, and I'm going to push this come Christmas time. So I really can't. I don't know. At this time I don't know.
Okay.
But one thing's for sure: when something happens, you're going to freaking know about it. I promise you that.
But let me ask you, all right, just give me this. There will be at least another something from Trickster. We will get another album at some point.
You certainly have not heard the last from Trickster. Yeah, we're still walking on both legs, so, something's going to happen.
Well, I'm glad. I am so happy. Again, I am a full-blown Trickster fan now. I am a Mark Gus Scott fan. I just hit you up on Facebook.
Tom, that's very kind of you. And, dude, let me tell you, I really appreciate your honesty with that, because I know there's other people out there that feel similarly, you know what I mean? And they're not always straight with me. People are nice to me, but I don't get to always hear the truth. You know what I'm saying? Hey, so, again, I appreciate that. I really do, pal.
I'm from Jersey, Staten
Jeff,
Island.
you're very quiet. Where's Jeff? Who's he banging on the side over there? What are you doing?
Don't ever ask Jeff. You never know what he's doing while I'm in the middle of the interview. You really don't. If I tell you the text,
what's her name?
Jeff.
He's very quiet. Does he have more than one wife? What's going on?
No. Sometimes he's letting nature take its course. Sometimes during our show. So.
Pardon me. Well, make sure he's got some toilet paper in there. The poor guy.
Yeah, so he may be off right now doing God's work. I'm not sure right now. So we'll leave it. Mark, before I let you go, I need one favor. I ask all my guests, can you give me a tag? Hey, this is Mark. Did you listen to Hard Rock and Sports with Jeff and Tom? Could you give me one of those?
Yeah, of course. You rolling?
Whenever you're ready.
All right. Now, Hard Rock and Sports.
Hard Rock and Sports with Jeff and Tom.
With Jeff, I was going to put Tom first. You want Jeff first? I'll put Jeff first.
I'm not conceding. His name can always go first. It does not bother me. That's my boy.
Hey, rock fans. Mark Gus Scott from Trickster. Hanging out with my good buddies, old Jeff and Tom right here. Oh, hey, Rock and Sports. You listen, crank it up. Beautiful. Yes, good. No, check 1, 2.
Perfect. Thank you, sir.
Is that good?
Appreciate it. No, it's great. That's perfect. Listen, Mark, I appreciate it. Please keep doing what you're doing. I'd love to get you back again. After things settle down, you can.
Tom, my door is open. Let me tell you, you ever come out west? You give me a shout, pal. I got a couple of spots to freaking show you. We'll have a great freaking time. I kid you not. But one thing for sure, please keep in touch, and I will do the same.
Absolutely. Good luck to you on this. And I'm looking forward to some more Trickster. And please keep in touch.
Most certainly will, Tom. Thank you, pal. Thanks so much for everything. Give Jeff my best.
I will definitely do that. Thank you, everybody. Mark Gus Scott from Trickster. Get out and check out his stuff. Jeff, you back with me? Jeff,